This is Coffee with God, and I am Father Jose. Let us begin this day with the Word of God and a short reflection.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark, chapter 8, verses 27 to 33. Passage taken from the Message version of the Bible. Jesus and his disciples headed out for the villages around Caesarea Philippi. As they walked, he asked, "Who do the people say I am?" "Some say, John the Baptizer," they said. "Others say, Elijah. Still, others say, one of the prophets." He then asked, "And you? What are you saying about me? Who am I?" Peter gave the answer, "You are the Christ, the Messiah." Jesus warned them to keep it quiet, not to breathe a word of it to anyone. He then began explaining things to them. It is necessary the Son of Man proceed to an ordeal of suffering, be tried and found guilty by the elders, high priests, and religious scholars, be killed, and after 3 days rise up alive. He said this simply and clearly so they couldn't miss it. But Peter grabbed him in protest, turning and seeing his disciples, wavering, wondering what to believe. Jesus confronted Peter. "Peter, get out of my way. Satan, get lost. You have no idea how God works." The Gospel of the Lord.
Reflections on the Gospel according to St. Mark, chapter 8, verses 27 to 33. Several times in the Gospel, we read that the crowds and the disciples have put the question about Jesus. Who is this? With today's passage, Mark intends to reveal the mystery and the answer to the question on everyone's mind. The episode is set in the vicinity of Caesarea Philippi, the city of Philip, one of the sons of Herod the Great. Jesus poses two questions to his disciples. Who do people say I am? And who do you say I am? The first was about the hearsays. But for the second, Jesus does not agree that his disciples should answer the question with some prepackaged formulas, because a faith that is reduced to a formula is a short-sighted faith. Each person is called to respond in their heart, allowing oneself to be illumined by the light that the Father gives us to know His Son, Jesus. Peter surprised everyone and declared, "You are the Messiah." The answer was perfect. But the only difference was about the type of Messiah that Peter had in mind. He expected a mighty ruler like David who would rule the world from the land of Palestine. Mark wrote his gospel for the Christians of Rome to invite them to evaluate the reasons that led them to believe in Jesus. The misconceptions into which Peter and the other 11 had fallen was always looming over all Christian communities. The professions of faith can be impeccable, but the important question that requires an answer is, what reasons do you hold for professing your faith? Is it to escape from the pains and sufferings, for success in business, or for social status and acceptance? If so, listen to Jesus telling you and me, "Get behind me, Satan." The Messiah of Jesus is bound to fail in the eyes of the world. He does not go to Jerusalem to scare off his enemies, but to offer his own life. That would be a huge disappointment for the disciples. It is not for this that they left the house, the boat, the family, and followed the Master. That is why Peter confronts Jesus, protesting on behalf of everyone. Peter does not want to commit to an absurd project that leads to failure, where the Master will be killed. This could be our own reaction too. It is challenging to present ourselves as failures before the world. We always want to win. Jesus' response to Peter is harsh. "Get behind me, Satan." His words do not mean go away. Rather, if you are in the front, you could lose track of your plan for your life because you are driven by your desires for success. But come behind me, stay with me, while I lead you on the right path.